everybody, what's up? It's Tiffany Scales. I'm your girl, Shay Dawson.
I'm Tania Rivers in the house. Hey. What is up, girly?
Man, recovering from a sinus infection, but
Ew, nasty. Did you have like snot and boogers and stuff?
Oh my God. It's still a little bit like congested.
Who wants to kiss you with like...
People still want to kiss me. Shout out to Nafis.
Ew, Nafis. Yuck. Kiss that honey when she is healed, honey.
He don't care.
I mean, the thing is, when you have like a sinus infection or you have like a mucus situation, you can taste it and it's disgusting.
Yeah, oh my God. It's literally like a snot waterfall.
Ew. Hey, tippers, what is up? Listen, if you're not doing so already, please make sure that you're following Tipping the Scales wherever you get your podcast, because our lovely episodes will just be automatically delivered to your phone, and it's so cool. And you know what, Shay? I was thinking about the other day when I was in New York. It just made me like tear up. I was thinking about the episodes we brought on Jalen and his father.
Oh.
2 great episodes.
Shout out to the Brunsons.
Jalen cried, right? So shout out to the Brunsons. You know, I love you guys, your family.
Yes.
And his dad Rick was like on fire. He was probably one of the funniest guests that we've had on.
He had a good time. I could tell he was enjoying himself. Like
he
that's
was so
what,
good.
Yes, that's what the vibes that we bring. Like it was so cool to just have all of that.
So cool. So to see them both together, he talked about how, him trying to be a father and him being a coach, because he's always going to be Jalen's coach for the rest of his life.
Right.
And how tough he is on Jalen. So now that he's officially one of the coaches for the Knicks, and then Jalen's, of course, starting point guard for the Knicks, like to see them together, that's what brought tears to my eyes. So
I know.
Shout out
to those tippers. Shout out to the Brunson tippers, man.
Yes. So make sure, if you guys haven't had the opportunity to do so yet, go check out one of the Brunson episodes. It's so cool. And you get to see our library of all our amazing episodes. And, it's our little journey. It's like, I feel like we tell a story. And if you really want to get to know more of the characters in the story, you turn that page, AKA you listen to those episodes. So pretty cool.
Literally, we have 82 episodes. Like, stop.
Fire.
Stop.
I can't even believe it.
Like,
right?
82 stories. Like, just
insane.
Go choose from a plethora. And we have another fun, amazing one tonight. But for those people, I have to say, because I just recovered from a sinus infection, make sure you're drinking your tea. I don't usually get a flu shot, but if you get a flu shot, it's that time of season where people start getting sick and stuff and having colds. And so.
Yeah, but why do you sound sexy with a cold?
Right? I
know.
Your
voice sounds so raspy and cute.
I love it. My audio better pick up right, because that last recording, I couldn't even listen to it because I sounded like I was underwater. You sounded all professional. And I was like, I was like, this is annoying. I couldn't even listen to it. I was like, I was hating.
You're a mess. Well, listen, tippers, I think we have a very, what I like to say, controversial topic today. We're talking about cannabis.
And,
right? So for those of you who kind of know my story, you know that I work for one of the largest cannabis companies in the world. We are in 23 different states. We have over 6,000 employees. Shout out to Curaleaf.
Hold on, pause.
Over 6,000.
6,000.
Crazy.
Employees.
We're huge. We're internationally based. We're in Europe. So we're a huge, fast growing cannabis company. And I love my company. I love
I know. I can
CEO.
tell you love your company.
Yeah. Shout out to Matt Darren. That's my guy. He cares about culture. He's just a CEO that's committed to wanting to create a great place to work and to have a true partner.
Cares.
To have a true partner in that is important. But I thought it was important for us to talk about the topic because I find people to either be for or against it. Like they support cannabis or they think that it's not okay. So, I'm a huge advocate of cannabis, and we'll get to my story shortly, but what is your take on that? For or against cannabis? What's your initial thoughts when you hear the word cannabis?
I mean, I grew up in basketball. Cannabis is a very prominent plant. If you shall happen to set it on fire.
It's actually a plant, yes.
If you shall happen to set it on fire, the side effects are hungry, happy, and sleepy. So,
that could be depending on the strain that you get. Every strain's different.
Depending on the strain,
the side effects is different, but
per Cat Williams, those are the side effects.
Those are my side effects too. I'm definitely more of. So it depends on how you like to.
I think there's time and place.
How you like to take your cannabis, right?
Yeah, I think there's time and place for me. Like, obviously, if you have, important things you have to do, you don't want to be in a sedated mind frame or whatever. But there's also people who are like, I'm better when I, am high or whatever. Yeah. So I use it for leisure and rec when I'm on vacation or I'm celebrating something, but it's not, I wouldn't say I'm an avid.
It's not like a daily use.
No. Yeah. But I'm also naturally like that. So,
yeah. Well, just for an educational standpoint, because I'm glad that you mentioned that, because most people think that when you intake cannabis, whether it be an edible or if you prefer flower, there's so many different ways to have cannabis at this point in time. But please don't misconstrue that every cannabis product is going to make you like super tired, laid back, because that's not true. Like you have a sativa and it gives you energy. It's like, it's uplifting. People take sativa and then go to the gym because it gives you so much energy.
It's an upper.
It's an upper. Mm-hmm. I am the type of chick who I need to be put down because I have way too much energy. Yeah. I'm like on 1,000 when I wake up, like, hello, let's go. I need to like kind of take it down a notch. So for me, I want an indica. So when you hear the word indica, think about in the couch, because that's what indica does to you. Put that ass on a couch. But that's what I like, because true story. I'll tell you my cannabis stories. I feel like those of us who understand it, it's medicine first.
Yeah.
And it is a plant. So for my story with cannabis, I used to suffer big time from insomnia.
I remember you saying that.
Couldn't sleep at all. And because I couldn't sleep, it caused a plethora of other issues. So I had terrible migraines, just didn't have clear thoughts. Like I just suffered a lot because I just wasn't getting sleep. And we all know the importance of sleep.
Right.
And I was introduced to cannabis. I actually became a patient and my life changed. And I started having a little bit of indica at night, slept like a baby. So,
love that.
My insomnia stories were just terrible. I couldn't even sleep for an hour straight at all. Like I would be up all night, big bags under my eyes, just be every day I got up, I felt so tired. I felt drained.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited that, with cannabis, I can get a good night's sleep. And I know so many people who have different cannabis stories that cannabis has helped change their lives. And I'm a huge advocate of it.
Yep.
I think that look, we have people who are experts. Like I'm not a cannabis expert by any stretch of imagination. I'm a chief people officer. So I do HR.
Yep.
So this is my personal story, not anything scientifically based at all. This is just my experience. But for those of you who are interested in, we're all over. We're probably in the state near you. We're probably in your state.
Yeah.
So please look up Curaleaf. Go check us out. We have a lot of different products and we have experts are there who you could tell them about what some of the things that you're experiencing, and they can help you pick the product that's right for you. So please know that that's an option. And depending on your state, like there are some states that are rec states, like New Jersey had recently became rec. You have.
What does it mean, rec?
So it's recreational, adult use.
Okay.
So that means that you don't need a medical card. So just like you go to the store and you buy, a bottle of wine and you go and you purchase it, you can go into a dispensary. We call it our store.
Okay.
And you can purchase whatever different products whatever you decide will be your way to take in cannabis. Like we'll have someone there that can kind of help you figure out what's good for you. And those are experts and they know what they're doing. They actually help me when I go and like, hi, like T, what kind of indica you want today?
When you get your experience.
Right. But I think my issue with people, and not really an issue, I think what those of us who are advocates of cannabis, what we're trying to do is really changed the narrative of how people really look at cannabis, because some folks watch a lot of rap videos and they think that, oh, it's just, I want to get high every day, all day. And it's not about that. Like some people
Connected to
need
being
it. Some people have,
lazy and
you know,
all
right.
that
Some
stuff.
people have different
Negative.
things in their lives that they need it. Like for pain medicine, like there's so many different ways and different things that cannabis can help you. But I just love to kind of start changing that narrative about, you know, about cannabis.
Yeah, it sounds like also a lot of people just need more education.
Education, for
because
sure.
you can abuse anything, right? You can abuse Coke, you can abuse soda, you can abuse cannabis, you can abuse it. And I think when people automatically think about cannabis, they think about the abuse of cannabis, like cannabis, meaning, you know, people who take cannabis don't want to work. People who take cannabis, they think about all the negative
They don't
things,
know. Yeah.
right? And they don't know. And I think the more you have the conversation about it, the more comes out about it. Like for me, I'm an advocate for it because most people that I know use cannabis in a healthy way have insomnia in older age, have a lot of aches and pains in their older age. They've been injured. It's a way to kind of relax the muscles, or people need to gain weight. And sometimes they only can, you know, have an appetite when they smoke. So I know that there's so many different ways to do it as well. And I think a lot of the times just the way it's marketed is a negative way. And I think it's nice to kind of have this conversation with you, someone who works in cannabis, who has a different perspective on the way you use it. I think it's dope because I don't actually think I've ever had a conversation about cannabis that talked about the different types and how you can take it in and the dosage and things like that. So I think I would like to talk about like the dosages and like, you know, and now they come in cute like little packages, or they come in pins, or come like there's so many things you can do.
There's all types of your gummies, and you know, I mean, the list goes on and on. Or the way that you can consume cannabis. It depends on, you know, your preference, of course. But yeah, Shay, I agree with you. It really depends on your personal situation. I also, in the past, had suffered from anxiety, and I know people who are patients, because in Pennsylvania, you need to be a patient, which means that you need your doctor needs to certify you to get cannabis. You need to have a medical card in order to get it. So I got it for a lot, especially my anxiety. It was just an all-time high.
Some states it's illegal, right?
Stressed out.
Correct?
Yeah, some states. Yeah, absolutely.
Which is crazy. I think here in Georgia, it actually is illegal.
Yeah. And then some folks who, like I said, live in like LA, who live in Arizona, who could just go to the store and get them.
A lot of my friends are like, I'll never leave California for that reason, because it's a rec, what you would say a rec state, right?
An adult use state. Yeah.
Yep. So that's crazy. Yeah, I never thought about it.
But I just know that is totally like changed my life. And I just really, you know, stand in my belief on that. But everyone is different. I mean, I have a girlfriend.
I go to Jamaica, so I know it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Irima, yeah. We're gonna be staying high, yo.
Can I just pause to talk about how such a great time that I had in Jamaica, though?
Yes, talk about it, because I'm about to go.
I went to Montego Bay. It just was
That's
fun.
where I'm going.
Good vibes. I can't remember. I got to tell you the resort I stayed in. It was just fun. Yeah. I went with my parents and my cousin.
Yep.
And we just had a good time.
I can't wait.
And it's just, you know, Jamaica, I feel like it's a place I could go to every year. Hang out.
Man, what? Yeah. I can't wait. We're getting an Airbnb, the villa style. Mm-hmm. So like big old infinity pool, like just lots of space. Like they got a chef and like they cook for you and stuff.
Really?
And
nice.
like, yeah, I haven't had that treatment ever. So I'm excited to do, you know, I'm a collector of firsts. So I'm excited to collect one of my firsts. So
I love that. Just being able to sit back, and there's nothing like having someone come prepare your meals.
Right.
And just sitting back like, yes, please, I'll take
I might have you send me a few edibles. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not allowed to do that.
I don't think I can travel with it either, but I like to dream about it.
Yeah, you can. But
I'm sure I can find some there.
I was going to ask you, if you do consume cannabis, are you someone, so for me, I like, you know, I'll say I like flower, which means that I like to smoke it.
Mm-hmm.
although I'm trying to weed myself to edibles. I do have a funny edible story when I first became a patient, and I really didn't know much about edibles.
Yes.
And I bought some like gummies,
Yeah.
and it was a 10 milligram, but took half of it. It had 5. But what I didn't know is you got to wait. Like it's not automatic.
So you
Depending
ate the other
on.
half.
So I did. First, I did eat I did take in the 5 milligrams. That was like 45 minutes to an hour. I was like, I'm fine. That's nothing. What the heck? Go for it, girl. So then I did digest the other 5 milligrams. Fell
Same.
asleep, woke up around 1 a.m. on a cloud so high in the sky that I've never been on in my life. The dog was barking at me because I was like legit on the floor. Like, I mean, I couldn't even focus. And it lasted for like 8 hours, 10 hours.
I can relate.
I was like, what in the world? So because that happened, like I just get nervous and anxious about it because that was just not a great experience because I didn't listen and kind of take in micro doses till I get to a point where
yes,
I'm feeling good and not try to do too much too soon. I was in Vegas, and of course, Vegas also adult use state, and I bought some edibles.
Yep.
I tried again. This time I went with 5 milligrams, and I took half of it. It still was like, whoa. So clearly,
I've had the same experience.
I just get so
every time
high off of edibles.
Me
I don't
too.
understand.
Because it's a blood high. That's why.
Yeah, it's just it's different.
So I have a similar story. It happened to me twice.
Do tell.
So the first time I was, my little bachelorette life that I was living in Los Angeles. I had a roommate, and it was my birthday.
Ooh,
and we
had
invited like a lot of people over.
Live your life.
Oh my God, so many just great vibes that day. And I was just like, yeah, like, because normally I was like a person that was like against like cannabis or against edibles because I just felt like I never needed it.
Yeah.
They're like, no, Shay, we're going to get you high. We're going to get you high, blah, blah. I was like, but I'm not smoking it. Because the one time I did try and smoke, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, and I wasn't inhaling anything, and I was faking it, and it was horrible, and I just felt embarrassed. So I'm not going to do that anymore because I kept doing it, but nothing was happening. But they didn't tell you. Anyway, so I
would love a visual of that, please, and thanks.
So they gave me a brownie. They're like, you can't taste it. This brownie's amazing.
Oh, no
way.
Like, I can't do it. Because I don't even know how much you take in. Yeah.
I only took half.
But I wonder how many milligrams that was.
Though. I don't even know it. That's what I'm saying. This is why I was messed up. So I take half the brownie, and I don't feel anything. So I'm so annoyed. And I'm like, this is not a drug. Weed's not a drug. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not a drug, blah, blah. So I take the other half, just like you. Right? And it's, I guess it's like time release. like you said, it's micro.
Sometimes it just takes away for you. Sometimes it takes your body like an hour or so to digest it. Yeah.
Was dancing in the mirror, doing all kind of stuff, just saying how high I was, just like, doing all this kind of, and I have everyone's recording me, and they're like, say hi to your mom. And I'm like, Mom, it's my birthday.
Lit.
So then I'm all sweaty.
City.
Yeah. So I'm all sweaty. So I go in the bathroom, try and reposition my ponytail. Mm-hmm. I'm brushing my hair, but I'm not gripping anything. Like there's just the muscles aren't working in I'm literally like, Lord, I'm brushing my hair so hard and nothing is working. And everyone's trying to give me water. They think I'm like drunk, but I wasn't. I just took the other half of the edible, but I didn't tell anybody. Craziest. And the second time was after I got engaged. I got a 15 milligram edible.
Whoa.
But I did not take the whole thing. I took a piece of it.
Whoa.
And I thought I did good. I was like, oh, a piece. Like I had, that little episode before where I took the whole brownie and that was a disaster. Sure. I couldn't even really talk. I was like telling Nafis, I'm on lizard tongue type time. Like I can't talk.
I want to see all of this just so I can laugh up.
Bad. It was so bad. Such a good memory.
Yeah.
Anyway, he didn't even know. He didn't know what was wrong with me. So kind of crazy. My brother was involved, my brother Nathaniel, but I'll let him come on and tell his half of the story because it was not good.
Nathaniel, we want your side of the story, please.
It was not good. Yeah. And it was his first time ever taking an edible.
Yeah. Listen, tippers, I do think let's just say you're in an adult use state and you're buying edibles and you're buying candy and all this stuff, like just understand how many milligrams you're taking, because I had a friend of mine who bought like nerd candies, like a whole strip, and was just eating the candy because it's sugar.
Because it's candy, like it's candy.
It's candy. And it's like, no, sweetie. And digested like 100 milligrams, which is out of her mind. And it's like she had a very bad couple of days. I'll just leave it at that. So be aware of what you're digesting, and just, again, if you're going to I can definitely speak for Curaleaf. If you're going to one of our stores, there are experienced folks that can help you, talk to you about how to help you if it's your first time doing an edible. But I like to say start slow and low. Start slow, start low in dosage, and just don't try to do too much too soon until you better understand how your body is going to react to cannabis, for sure.
Rex. And where can they, I guess they could go to Curial website.
Go to Curaleaf website.
Curaleaf
website.
Curaleaf.
And then
I can't even say it. How do I say it?
Curaleaf.
Curaleaf. Okay, that's Curaleaf.
So you go to our website and you can,
find
different your information.
Yeah, exactly.
And show. I mean, we're in over about 23 different states. So we have a lot of stores available for you, for sure.
Ooh.
I know.
Okay. Little sponsored posts.
For free. Don't worry, marketing department. This is on me. This is on tape. How do you feel about those? Because you did see that, but I don't know if you saw that our president did pardon some of those who were convicted of marijuana charges. I don't know if you saw that, but I think that was a huge step in the right direction. It's like, come on, like,
absolutely. Most of that stuff affects Black and brown people. So
yeah, definitely affects people of color, for sure.
Yeah.
So just to see that, I think that was a step in the right direction, per se.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to get all into the details. I mean, those of us who know how it affects the community when you put so much effort, into nonviolent crimes. Things, like marijuana, especially now that it's legal for everyone to profit off. I think they just probably needed to wait until they could find a way to make it profitable for everybody. But to criminalize it, I think is wrong.
Yeah, I think it makes me feel better knowing that people who that has impacted in a negative way, that's, again, it's a step in the right direction. I think it goes a long way for those who have been impacted by it. So
correct.
Thank you, President, for that.
Thank you for that. Thank you for
anything else we want to ask the president for while he's giving out?
Well, he was forgiving student loans until it got blocked. So I thought that was a step in the right direction too. Because again, that affects Black and brown people too, who have to take out loans because they don't have the wealth to pay for institutions. And so so but no, I don't want to ask the president for anything. We just got to get it out the mud how we always do.
Somehow, some way. More jobs.
Yeah.
I could go on and on. But
I'd like to have a third party instead of just Republican, Democrat. I'd love to figure out how we can, make an independent candidate popping. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I don't know enough. I remember like who has been some of those independent candidates in the past. Like, have we had any ones?
Yeah. I can't say I know, but I would love for us to make that cool where it's not only evil or eviler.
Why do you want to run?
eviler. Like, I'd love to have another option. So
like a decent option.
Maybe I won't see it in my lifetime, but I'd love to hear from people who I guess have an opinion on that. That would be an interesting topic to talk about.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. I was just thinking, as I think about my cannabis stories, I remember I went to a Kevin Hart concert. I mean, a Kevin Hart show. And it was, I don't know. I have this relationship in my head with Kevin Hart where I feel like he used to be funny, and live he just isn't as funny anymore. I still respect him. I still think um, he's a respectable comedian for sure. But I just don't find him to be as funny anymore. But anyway, I went to see him, and I'm talking about like the entire section I was in. Smoke. I think I was high from the contact.
Yeah, no, contact high is real.
It was like
It might have been my
crazy.
first high.
It made me literally just think about it. It was just insane. Yeah. But listen, guys, again, I just encourage you to think differently. We have to, as humans, not be so caught up to follow the norm per se, or listen to the chatter around us about certain things. And I think, cannabis is just one of those things. It's like, stop being biased to the things that you have heard, and you kind of formed an opinion based on just your perception of what it is. Get to know all things for your own experience and your own due diligence, that you are doing the work and finding out more, opposed to just listening to the chatter. So I feel like that's, a reason why there's just so much negativity, that we're still trying to, for those of us who are advocates, just trying to kind of change the narrative, because I just think that people don't know enough, have enough education about the product.
I agree. I mean, I could admit that I don't either. I mean, I've tried cannabis all of 5 times in my life, and I can remember each time. Yeah. And I would say that it was an interesting experience each time, but I didn't know enough to do it. I was peer pressured once, I wanted to feel a certain type of way one time, or I was just like super happy. I don't know. So I think that
not just happy, super happy.
Super happy. I was super happy because I had just got engaged.
Yeah.
Hey,
so what's up, little baby brother?
I know, right? But I would love to be educated on a little bit more too.
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's commit tippers and Shay.
Okay.
You're a tipper too. We're both tippers, right?
For sure.
For sure.
I listen to my own episodes.
We do. We do that all the time. Let's commit to learning more about cannabis. Let's research it. Let's find out more, so that way we won't pass judgment. We'll have a better understanding. So let's at least walk away. I love to give out homework. I should have been a teacher, I think.
You're a teacher.
Yeah. Kind of.
In HR.
Let's walk away with just doing our own research to find out more. And I'm still on a journey. And, I think that's what inspires me to go to work every day, because I know how cannabis transforms lives, and I believe in the power of the plant. Right. And it goes a long way for me. But, see for yourself. Deal?
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks, tippers. You know how much we appreciate you. Continue to follow Tipping the Scales wherever you get your podcasts.
Boom, and thanks for listening this long.
Yes. Bye.